woman to submit to a man?
See, so it's a very controversial topic, Arya, okay? Because women like to do things their own way nowadays, and they don't want to submit to a man because they think that makes them lesser of a woman to submit to a man. Men are like an umbrella, and the world is like a thunderstorm. And women can either go out into the thunderstorm and get completely soaked and drenched, or
Under the umbrella?
what?
Or they can go under the umbrella?
Exactly, or they can go under the umbrella. What a lot of women have a hard time realizing is that that umbrella is only useful to cover and protect her from the storm if she holds it up, right? So if a woman wants to be protected by the covering of a man, she has to then submit underneath his covering and protection. But some women have a hard time with ego and pride that they don't want to be underneath another man. But what they fail to realize is that the umbrella can't be used for its intended purpose without the woman holding it.
The umbrella?
Correct. What good does an umbrella do if you just hold it out to the side?
Nothing.
Nothing, exactly. But so many women want to be equal to men. They don't want to be underneath men. That they hold the umbrella out to the side, wondering why they keep getting drenched in the storm. But the way to be protected by the covering is to submit to being underneath it. Does that mean that the woman is less? No, it doesn't. Because guess what? The umbrella can't do its job without the support of the woman. Right? So men need women to support us so that we can cover them and protect them from storms. Here's the caveat to that. Men have to be full of integrity. Otherwise, even if a woman holds that umbrella up, she's still going to get drenched by the holes in the umbrella.
Dad, what does it mean for a woman?
Alright, first and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS where I learned from. Shalom to the for elect, preaching his word in truth and sincerity. To you ribs, to you sisters out there learning in silence and staying in order. I say to you all, Shalom. You know, this guy was speaking facts, man, and you know, I never really heard that analogy before about the umbrella, right? But you know, it does correlate with the scriptures, man. You know, women nowadays were put in a position that they feel like they have equal strength and power, authority as the man. And it all started only because Amalek thought it was a good idea to, instead of taxing the man who went to work and left the man, you know, and left the woman at home working while the man works. I mean, you know, the woman doing the house chores and taking care of the kids while the man goes out and makes the bread. Right. Back in those days, all you needed was one job, right? But Esau, smallhatters, thought it was a good idea to tax both mother and father. So they let the women go into the workforce under the pretense of equality. You know, and that way they could tax the woman and the man while further separating families, right? So then he took advantage of the both parents working and put the kids in a school system to educate them, to put them in the workforce so the kids could be taxed as well, right? So it's all tied to greed and mammon, right? But a woman should, even though both parents work, the woman still should be under the man and his authority and his guidance, right? Because the Lord did not give the woman, the weaker vessel, you know, the spiritual eye salve to discern, you know, dangers and evils and things of that nature, right? There cannot be two heads. There can only be one per house, right? one God, one King, one man. This is 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And the head of the woman is the man. And the head of Hamashiach Yahushai is Yahweh, the power. Right? That's the order. It's biblical. It has not changed since the world began, and it will not change after this era ends. And the sooner the women get in line, the better off they will be. Right? The Lord will start blessing these households. That, the scriptures say in Sirach 25. Let me actually get it. Sirach 25 and verse 1. In 3 things I was beautified and stood up beautiful before Yahweh and men. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors. A man and a wife that agree together. Right? And that last part is the point. Right? And we come to agreements, right, in the scriptures being our guide, right, for how to deal with things in life. The scriptures say, to let things be done in decency and in order, right? And part of that order is that the woman does not compass a man, although it was prophesied for that to be, right, the correct way, right? If you're a woman in this truth, right, and you believe, then you should really wholeheartedly follow your role as the men do. Right? That's why the part of the video he said integrity. Right? And this Bible here holds us accountable, right? To allow us, right, and to guide us to be men in this walk, what to and what not to do. And that's where our integrity will lie, right? That we have a guide, right, in the scriptures to keep us on the narrow and straight path. And the women, if you have a man of the Lord, then you should be under him wholeheartedly, right? You should be under your man regardless, but women should choose their men, right, accordingly. The scripture says, Sirach 26, that a wicked woman is given unto a wicked man, right? So women are supposed to be pillars of rest. And the sooner you go under that man, right, the faster you give him a peace, the better he can deal with day-to-day routines, man, as pertaining to what his mission is in life. This is Sirach 26:26. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, right? Everybody's gonna look at her and be like, she knows, she's walking she's walking the right path, man. And you can tell by the countenance, right? It says, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakah HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who I learned from. Shalom to the hopeful elect, preaching His word in truth and sincerity to you, Ribs, and to you, sisters out there learning silence and staying in order. I say to you all, Shalom.